Welcome back. My name is Catherine Wormley, and today I'm talking to all the single mamas out there, and we're going to talk about budgeting. I think that the budget mindset is very important for us single moms. I know it's challenging, okay? Let me tell you, it's challenging, but it's very necessary to learn how to budget the right way and to have the right kind of mindset. So over the course of the next 3 videos, we're going to talk about budgeting. Today is mindset. I'm not going to tell you what the other 2 days are, but I encourage you to come back to day 2 and day 3 and get some guidance. I'm going to talk about my experiences and hopefully you learn something from what I've been through. My goal is to help you. If you have a solid foundation in budgeting, my goal is to get that foundation even stronger. Okay, we're in this together. And if you don't have a solid foundation in budgeting and you've been really trying to get your finances in order and wanting better for you and your household, for you and your kids, then that's why I'm here. So let's get into it. So yeah, today is mindset. I'll be talking about 3 things that I've learned along the way, along my journey, to help you. Obviously, this is not a financial advising video, so please take what you hear from me today in stride and use it if you need to, if you want to. It's up to you. This is not a financial advice. This is just from my own perspective and what I've learned along the way. So the first thing that I learned is that money is not a bad thing. I learned how not to fear money. Quick story. When I was little, I was asked this one question that kind of just changed the whole trajectory of how I felt about money. And it was for the worstest portion of my journey with money. It really put fear in my heart. And since then, up until the last couple of years, I really had some fear with money. This is the question that was asked. If you won the lottery, what would you do with it? And I remember thinking, I have never seen that kind of money in my life. Okay, I was like elementary school. The biggest bill that I probably ever saw was like a $50 bill. Mind you, my family was not very low income, wasn't low, it was actually medium. Both parents had pretty good jobs. My dad had a really good job. My mom had a good job. She supplemented the income in the household. So we were not well off, but we were good, if that makes sense. There was no worry about losing our housing or not having enough food. I had everything that I needed when I needed it. So it really wasn't a it really wasn't a bad environment to grow up in with my household regarding money. But when I had this question asked to me, I immediately went to all the times that I felt I didn't have enough. So the feelings and the truth were very much different. They were on going in 2 directions. There was a couple of things that I thought about. I thought about every time I see somebody have a lot of money, they spend it and then they're asking for more, or they're in like a worse situation than they were before. I've seen people in my life up to that point, again, I was in elementary school, just act real funny around money. Do you hear my cat? Every time, I'm telling you, she knows. Every time I get on this video, she starts eating. Anyway, yeah, every time I saw somebody with a lot of money, they just started acting funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just they weren't the same. They just acted very mysterious, very untrusting, or just untrustworthy themselves. They um, they just did things outside of their character that I knew of. And so when I thought about, oh, lottery, I'm like, I don't want to win the lottery. Absolutely not. Because guess what it's going to come with? It's going to come with all those sketchy people that I've observed in my life coming at me, asking me for money, and then all the weirdness happens in relationships, right? When you say no, especially when it comes to money. And I didn't want that. In my own elementary school mind, I was like, I'd rather not even have the money and be okay with the same relationships that I have in my life than have the money and have drama. Okay, I didn't want drama. So that definitely planted a seed in my heart of money is bad. A lot of money is very bad. And I don't want to have anything to do with it. I'm good with what I got. And what I got was good. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great. It was just good. It was mediocre. Okay? I was happy with mediocre. But the Lord really had to deal with me on that, because all throughout the Bible, He blesses His children with more according to what they can handle and according to His will and His purpose in their lives. And He started really working with me on money and the mindset with money and why I fear it. And I had to really work through that. Once I was able to kind of get over the fear of money and embrace that money is not the bad thing. It's a tool to use for God's glory, number one, and to do what He needs you to do in this world, right? Everything is ran by money. It's ran by commerce. It's you buy or you sell. And so it was very naive of me to think that I could do anything in this world meaningfully, to the extent that the Lord wanted me to. Because, right, like, things that are meaningful don't always have to have a price tag to it. But what God was calling me to do I needed money to do it. I need money to do it. So I had to really get over the fear of a lot of money. And once I was able to do that, I was able to go on to the next step, which is knowing that I was worthy of that money, that abundance that the Lord wanted me to have, that the abundance that the Lord wants all His children to have. There are blessings with money. Money itself is not evil. It's the heart. It's your heart posture towards money. If you are greedy and selfish and prideful, yeah, money is bad in your hands. I'm sorry to say, if you are any of those three things, having money is destructive to you and other people around you. But if you are not prideful, and if you are not greedy, and if you are not selfish, and you really do want to do the Lord's will and put Him first and not idolize money or not idolize the things that come with money, then that's a good heart posture to have. And the Lord knows your heart, number one, so there's nothing that you can hide from Him. So He's going to give you according to what He feels is best for you in the season that you're in. And at the time, obviously, He didn't drop $1 million in my lap, but He was definitely getting my mind and my heart posture aligned with His will and what He wanted me. I keep on kicking this camera. What He wanted me to have faith on, so that way I could move forward instead of being stagnant. And I think that's what the fear was causing me to do. And then in turn, it made me feel unworthy, and I had to work on that, right? So fear and not feeling worthy of money, or the amount of money that I needed to do what the Lord was telling me to do, it caused me to just not do anything. It caused me to not even step out on faith. I made all the excuses. Okay? So feeling unworthy makes you just not move. Like, it makes you paralyzed in a way, because you don't feel like you're good enough. And then you self-sabotage. You start doing things that against God's will, that keeps you from obtaining the finances, or getting your finances in line, or gaining the wealth, or increasing your income, because you don't feel that you're worthy enough to have it. But I'm here to tell you that that's a lie from the enemy. You are worthy enough to have it. You believing in God and knowing that you're his child, that's enough. That's enough. That's enough. Period. There's like no ands on what I just said. You are a child of God. You're enough. The Lord loves you. You're enough. Period. And he does love you. So you're enough. You're enough. You're worthy of more. Okay? If you're in a situation where you're in an environment where it's just a lot of poverty around you, and you just know in your heart of hearts that that poverty is not for you, and that God is calling you to come out of that God is calling your children to come out of that, like, there's something to that. You got to listen to that. That's the Holy Spirit kind of trying to pulling you, getting you ready for something good. But you have to be willing to walk in that path, to walk in his goodness. And you have to know that you're worthy of it, and you are. Okay? So if you're in that poverty environment and you just know that this is not for you, it's time. It's time to get in your word. It's time to start praying to the Lord and asking him to reveal your heart, to reveal what is keeping you from moving forward in God's goodness, what's keeping you from moving forward in what the Lord has called you to do. And if you don't know what the Lord has called you to do, ask him. Prayer. Ask him. Ask him. Just say, hey, Lord, you know all. You know my heart. You know where I'm going. You know my past, my present, and my future. And I love you, and I'm here to tell you that I want to trust you, and I want to have faith in you. I need to know what you've called me to do. What you're calling me to accomplish while I'm here on this earth. For me, for my children, for my children's children, for the people that you're calling me to, there's people, literally groups of people that need you, that need your story, that need your skills and your talents and your time. But you have to realize that everything that the Lord has called you to do, he's already given you the doors are there. The key is there to open up that door. The skills are there. The resources are there. You just have to have faith. And in order to have that faith, you have to know that you're worthy of everything good that the Lord has called you to. Okay? And then the third thing is knowing that you're not just increasing your income to pay your bills. Paying your bills are very, very important. Pay them on time. Pay them in full. Okay? And if you were struggling with that, start a budget. Really take, and this is kind of going into a video number 2 with the budget 101, but really take account of every single cent that you're spending. Okay? And I'll talk to you about that a little bit more in my second video, but take account of every single cent that you're spending, and don't judge yourself on it. Just like kind of give yourself a week or two and spend like you normally spend, and literally write down everything. Or if you have like your bank account statement, or if you have a budgeting app, use it and just track everything. And then that'll give you a good example of like where your money is going. But it is important to pay your bills on time. It is important to pay your bills in full, okay? To keep your lights on, to keep the water flowing, to keep the heat going, to pay your rent, to buy the food, okay? It's important. But I want you to think beyond paying your bills on time. You are building something good for the Lord, number one, and then something good for your family. You are not only building a legacy, but you're not only building a legacy for you, for the here and now to get you by, but you're building a legacy for your kids and your kids' kids, and maybe your kids' kids' kids. Okay? And this is just the start of it. Proverbs 14:1 says that the wise woman builds her house. Builds. When you're budgeting and you're starting to start the journey of wanting financially better for you and your kids, you got to start thinking about the fact that you're building, okay? You're expanding, you're building up, and you're expanding out. A wise woman thinks about these things, okay? She thinks about how to take care of her kids here and the now, but how to invest in them long term. What it's going to look like for them 10 years from now. What do you want life to be 10 years from now for your kids? Okay? And even for yourself, for your business idea that you have that you've been sitting on. What do you want your life to look like 10 years from now? That's starting to expand your thinking. That's starting to think about building a legacy, not just getting by. You really have to get past the getting by mentality if you want to have and incorporate all the blessings that the Lord has for you. And I guarantee you that's not going to happen in a poverty state. It ain't going to happen. I'm sorry. Every person, successful person that I have come across, that I've read about, that I've researched, who's a Christian, who does what they do for God's glory, number one, and for their legacy, isn't in poverty. They're not. Okay? They have money. They have enough to get by and way more. Okay? They have enough to buy what they want to buy when they want to buy it. All right? But it's not all about materialistic things, right? You got to think about, they have businesses. They have things that the Lord, ministries that they're running, that they don't have to borrow from the bank for loans. They can just, use their money, use their investments, use their savings, use whatever they built to pay for what they need. Somebody comes along with the need, they got it. Okay? Their church has a need, they got it. A ministry has a need, they got it. The Lord tells them to go do A, B, and C, they got the money to do it. They're not sitting around wishing and you know, and beating themselves up over what they don't have, because they've built their house. Women in ministry, women who love the Lord, women in the marketplace, they have built their house. And to do that, they had to think about, what is my legacy going to look like? What do I want it to look like? And so I think to start with that, write down what your vision, what you want. Write down the vision. What do you want your life? What do you want your kids' lives to look like 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 20 years from now? And if you really want to stretch yourself, what do you want to happen when you're gone? How do you want your kids' lives to look like when you're gone? Okay? Those are important things to think about. But it's all about just having that mindset of abundance but not abundance the way the world looks at abundance the way the Lord looks at abundance. And his plans for all his children are good. Okay? They are filled with hope. And I don't know about you, but when I think about hope and goodness, I'm not thinking about struggling to put food on my kids' table, struggling to buy the shoes because they grew out of them, struggling to pay the light bill, robbing Peter to pay Paul just to get by. That's not in the good and hope that I think about. It's not. And so as I can close, I just really want you to think about your future, your kids' future, and hold on to, when you write your vision, don't do it in fear, right? Know that you are worthy of all that you write down on that paper. You're worthy of it. Like, think really big, okay? Like, limits off, okay? And really push yourself, and be in prayer about that vision. Some of the things the Lord's gonna be like, but some of the things the Lord's gonna be like, yeah, that vision that you had, that you wrote down, that's because I implanted it in you. You're created to do that. You're created to actually accomplish that goal, that big, humongous goal that you think is so out of the way and so unattainable. That's the goal. That's the vision that I want. That's the purpose that I have for you. That's the will that I have for you. Okay? That's going to be like your seed that's going to spark some faith in you. And it did for me. I mean, it took me a while to get to where I am, to be able to talk about money and talk about big visions, big dreams, and to have the right mindset and the right heart posture for it. But the more I just wrote visions down, the more I just prayed about it, the more I came to God and just asked him, and then shared my dreams and my visions with him, and had that conversation with the God Almighty, the one who rules the universe. Okay? That's when all the sparks happened. That's when I was able to push past that, like that invisible ceiling that I was capping on myself because of fear, because of feeling unworthy, because I couldn't think past what I was going to do tomorrow, how I was going to pay for dinner, like that night, you know what I'm saying? Like, having the big conversations, the big vision conversations with God regarding money just helped me, it helped that ceiling completely dissolve. And I was just able to go to the next level in my thinking with finances. So I really hope that this convo helped you. And the next video is going to be a little bit more detailed about budgeting. Hopefully it'll help you with what to do. Like the tangible stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like the real life stuff that happens with budgeting. So I wanted to just come on here and encourage you that, the Lord wants more for you, single mom. Just because we're single, just because we have one income don't mean nothing. Okay? The Lord is unlimitless. Unlimitless? Yeah, unlimited. Unlimitless. Okay? That means you are too. So, and also, before we conclude, I wanted to share, I don't really share my writing, my work, but I'm trying to get out of that. So I wrote a book. It's a devotional, 30 Days to Kingdom Parenting. It's 30 days of a devotional. You can find it at the link in the description of this video. It's on Amazon. It's an ebook. So this is the physical book, but I do have them in ebook. And it's 30 days. And I literally go through all the wisdom that the Lord just implanted in me over the years of single parenting, of parenting period. And I wrote it all down. And then I just talk about my own experiences. But then I have to-dos. I have a note section and I have a take action section. And it really does help build your confidence in parenting, but it also will help your whole household. Okay? Get aligned with the Lord, get aligned with his truth, his word. And my prayer is that this devotional helps your household just streamline real good. You know what I'm saying? Like the days where it's just your house feels good, Holy Spirit filled, at peace, comfort, joy, happiness. Okay? That's why I wrote this, to get households to that. Okay? So it's here. Sorry, I was like turning it around. It's here. It's on Amazon. The link is in the description, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye.